I think that right now, this body enhancement craze is out of control. We all want to enhance things and be the best version of ourselves, but you can never, ever, ever achieve perfection. I don't think it's about men anymore. I feel like the ones who don't even need it are the ones who getting it the most. You have people who can't even afford it going down to the DR, almost losing their lives behind this. And they showing out, they got bodysuits and things on that look better than the strippers got on. They feel like they're not as attractive as the other women because they don't have the big breasts. They don't have the big bodies that a lot of us men look at. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy L64, and welcome to the journey. And this is Cruising and Conversation. Yeah, this Cruising and Conversations, y'all. Let's jump right into the topic today. Today we're going to talk about a trend that I see going on. It's the craze going on right now. And basically we're talking about body enhancements. Yeah, I said it, body enhancements. Brazilian butt lifts, fat transfer, whatever you want to call it, right? All right, this is something that I see real prevalent going on right now. I see a lot of people getting these things done. And I got my thoughts on them. You know, I got my thoughts on them. Let me just say this for starters, ladies, because this is going to come down to y'all. Men not running around here getting enhancements. But this is what I would say. I know some women when I was young and I was in elementary school, some of them had flat breasts, flat chest, however you want to say it. Some women had no ass or no behind. And those women used to get a lot of jokes. They used to get slid a lot of jokes and things like that. So as you get older, it becomes more of an insecurity for women. And I know that I'm not a woman, but I can understand if you felt like that. It's just common sense. So let me say this. Some of these things I understand, regardless of what people say. I understand that for a woman, your hair is your crown. You know, your breast is part of your femininity. I guess your behind is part of it as well. But let me just say this. So I understand that. But the one thing that I'm saying is that the people that really need it the most, those aren't the people getting it. And listen, I say that very cautiously when I say need it, because God created us the way He created us. And to me, that's a beautiful thing. But I understand. I don't have the answers to everything, but I get it. Now, with that being said, I see women who already have nice bodies, already have nice breasts, already have the good looks, going to get these enhancements, almost like they trying to be perfect. You know, it's almost like they looking and reaching for perfection. I don't know what the deal is with that, but I'm gonna tell you where I have an issue with it, because I've heard the reason women are doing this is because of men. Let me take y'all back down memory lane real quick. Let's go back to the 1980s. Let's go back to the 90s. Y'all keep saying it's men having a problem and making women feel this pressure. Yes, men are going to be the ones who are attracted to these adornments that you have. But understand this, we was okay when women looked like Pam off of goddamn Martin. It was back in the day in the 90s, you called her a woman with a fat behind. You know what I mean? With a nice body. Halle Berry. We was okay with how women was then. We didn't have a problem with that. So I want y'all to understand something. It's not that we did it, but I'm gonna go down. Let's fast forward a little bit. So get that through your head. In the 70s, you had women like Pam Grier. You know, when she was doing the black exploitation films, we was okay with that, and we thought she was the finest thing that ever walked the face of this planet. You had Diane Carroll. You had all these women who had nice bodies, but they weren't overly done. So, like I said, in the 80s, we had women in the 80s that we looked at. We looked at a different world and thought Whitney was fine. Whitney, you look at her now, you really realize she's a real thin woman. So it's not about the pressure of us putting it on women. Yes, we're visual creatures, so what we see that catch our attention the most is what we're going to tend to lean towards. But let me tell you what I think happened. And y'all give me y'all opinions on this, because it's like my conversation is about this and that. But let's go into where I think this whole thing started from. Because reality TV really started a shitstorm. So let's go back into the early 2000s. And this is just TV in general, not just reality TV. Because before it was reality TV, it was cable, and it was something called what was it called? It was a show that came on called I cannot remember what the name of it was, but it came on BET, and basically at night those shows had the music videos going on, and when the music videos came on, you basically had your X-rated versions of them. They were the ones that didn't have any restrictions on them. And I'm gonna tell y'all the name of that. I know I'm gonna remember it. I'm gonna look it up when I get off here, but I just can't remember it right now. So anyway, Uncensored, that was the name of it, Uncensored. So I was going to the strip joint in the 90s. We used to have this strip joint called, we used to have some strip joints we went to. Of course, you had your Norma Jeans, you had all of that. You had your Foxy Ladies. All of that stuff was open. All right, and there was another one. I know I'm gonna get the name of this. A lot of these things I keep forgetting, but anyway, we used to go there. So I'm gonna talk about strip joints first. Back in the day, if you wanted to see a beautiful woman with a body that was exceptional, I mean, just ridiculous, and doing these dances and things that regular women wasn't doing, you had to go to the strip joint. So a lot of us guys, we went to the strip joint. We went there, we threw the ones up, went in there with a little bit of money. You got to live out your fantasy and see these beautiful women dancing around. Now, let's move up a little bit. Let's move forward. Here's what happened, I believe. All right, back in the day, Luke Skywalker and the 2 Live Crew had women on there doing these explicit dances, but they were still shaped like regular women. But in the strip joints, meanwhile, in the 90s, you know what I mean? These women were already on with that at the strip club. Some of them were already on with getting some of these enhancements, but it wasn't so well known. It was just a thing that was going on in the strip clubs. So remember what I told y'all about that video show that used to come on called Uncensored? It would come on like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning on BET. When that show came out, you could look at, I remember Nelly had this video called Tip Drill. Man, Nelly was sliding the credit card down the woman, crack, doing all this crazy stuff. But these women on there were so damn voluptuous. They were voluptuous. So around that time, that craze, they started mixing strippers in with being video vixens and dancing. You started hearing that term, video vixen, a lot more. Because around that time, they were merging the music videos with what was going on. I mean, they were merging the strip clubs with the music videos. So now, you looking at these videos, you see them guys from down south and a couple of these guys from out the West Coast, they starting to put, especially down south, because you had Freaknik, so they was on some other stuff anyway. But look, those guys from down south started putting these strippers and dancers in videos. So when they started putting these strippers and dancers in videos, the whole look of what videos and dancers on videos looked like changed. That was the beginning of how that stuff changed. So I may miss some parts, but hopefully I don't. So around that time, you started seeing more and more of these women. I remember Superhead was on there. She had like a normal body, but the bodies were getting more and more bold. And then the guys from the West Coast videos that was doing porn, you had the porn stars, you had the strippers turning into porn stars. All of these things became a big melting pot. So they were in your face. Now you're looking at videos with women. You had somebody called Buffy the Body. I don't know if y'all remember her. Buffy the Body, she was one of the first women that came out with just a her behind was like, man, it was crazy. Back in them days, brothers wasn't used to seeing that on the regular. You only had a few women here and there who had those types of bodies. So that's when the whole complexion of everything started changing. Things started really going into another place, and it started picking up steam. Now, y'all tell me what y'all think about this. So now you had your regular average woman trying to be like some of these people you see on TV. So you start seeing the video vixens on there, and you start seeing the women looking more and more like that. So my thing is, I believe that was the beginning. That was some of the blueprint, how it got the mainstream. So then as time went on, you got your reality TV shows coming on. You're seeing this front and center. The guys that was doing porn was taking trips over to Rio de Janeiro, to Brazil, the West Coast video guys. All of this stuff, they even had somebody named Charky D-A-S-S. When Charky D-A-S came out on porn, she was one of the most popular women out there, and they were calling her a BBW at first. Now, we ain't gonna get into that whole topic right now, because BBW now is, I don't know what the hell this is now. But anyway, I know I'm doing a lot of talking, but I want y'all to go down there. So where we are right now, you saw the word vixen, video vixen, blow up and explode. these women were sought after to do videos, and they were still dancers. A lot of them were still dancers that transitioned to being women for hire doing these videos and everything. So around this time,